What I do?
Lace up the shoes, chase W's.
Now what I do?
Lace up the shoes, chase W's.
Yeah.
Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league, most valuable. They sweet as apple juice.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On second down, it's Carson. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They go play action here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And he'll find Hall. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take out extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Ready. 70, Indy.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
2nd and 5. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
60 Pittsburgh. Switch up.
On 3rd down, it's Taylor. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Ready? 50, last 50. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Go. Let's go. Shoot.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Interception all day, baby.
They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field.
Here's Carson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. So 3rd down. They need to get to the 28 for a first. Operating from the gun. Eason. He finds his man Johnson. 23 yards, the final tally.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfired.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Call it no gain on the dump-off, and it's third down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, Eason got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Down. 18, Gator. Deep river.
Off play action. Eason. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And the catch made by Johnson. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
From the gun, Eason. Johnson's got it complete. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And the kick by Rosas is good. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Let's go.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready? 10-2 start. Here we go. Cut.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Dwayne Haskins with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Throwing on first down. Eason. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Over the middle, complete. It's Schwartz. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it first and 10.
Tight end's right. Hey, Foxtrot. 50, Mike's 50.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Mike 50. Hey, let's get in there home.
From the gun, Eason. Open target here, Darius Slayton.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Come on, QB, come on. Mike 55. Hey, watch the slant. Mike 55. Big grip.
On first down, Eason. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
That's complete to Slayton. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. From a yard out as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Complete. It's Johnson. A big play there for the Giants. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Looking to throw. Eason, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. From 3 yards out. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's get out the field, defense.
2nd and 11. Looking deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Off the play fake, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Well, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. To throw on 2nd down. Eason, this is caught. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. 2nd and 2. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Come on, set.
They'll come out in the pistol. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
On 4th down, Eason feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
2nd and 4. Catch made by Slayton. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them, and plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. They run again with Carson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
Yep. You remember me? Let's go, baby. Get it.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Hey, Urban. Ready?
On 1st and 10, Eason. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Banjo. Hey, high 7. 50, Mike's 50. Big grip.
Throwing on 1st down. Eason. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Eason. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play. And the Officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Draw play. This is Carson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 30 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safety.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking to throw. Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let them lead the game out that way.
And he connects with Ertz. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock making him do it that way, didn't they?
Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, it looked like the Eagles got this back. Yes, Philadelphia football. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On the delay, here's Carson. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Lawrence. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Operating from the gun. Lawrence. Looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
New York set to take the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have two defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. That one looks like he'll throw here. That'll be caught by Rice. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they still dented him, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. From the gun, Eason. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Andy Isabella, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here